here I am on the way to one of the most visited places in Italy. And you'll probably say that most places in Italy are heavily visited, and you'll be right. This time we are spending a couple of days at Lake Como, and I'm really glad that we decided to stay there instead of just doing day trips from Milan. Speaking of Milan, you'll probably be departing from there or connecting through it. In my case, it was Milano Centrale, although there are trains from other stations as well. We decided to make Como town our base. If you intend to primarily explore the famous Como Triangle, it might be better to find a place to stay there instead. Good morning from the beautiful Italy and the beautiful Como. Today we have the maximum program that we could manage to plan because we're going to Varenna and then to Bellagio.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Probably to the most famous, infamous towns on the Lake Como, and we'll try to figure out how the ferries work because we live pretty far away, so going on foot or swimming is not an option. We're also going to visit some villas, and I'm really interested to see and excited to see whether it will be as Instagram says, with all those expectations versus reality thing, because the weather is not really sunny today and it won't be until the very afternoon, so we hope there might be a bit less crowd. We will see how it goes, and the next days we are going to visit some other places and also go on the very top of the hill to view the lake from above, so stay tuned, we'll try to show you some places. Selecting the right base is probably the most important part of your stay. On one hand, staying somewhere closer to Bellagio or Varenna means you'll spend less time on boats. On the other hand, staying in Como gives you access to buses in every direction, which can save you money and simply offer an alternative if all the boat tickets are sold out. Tickets, it's worth taking some time to understand how the system works because it will make getting around much easier. Basically, there are regular boats and fast boats. Taking the Como-Brunate road as an example, the fast boat takes around 1 hour one way, while the regular boat takes about 2 hours. You can also buy a day pass if you plan to use multiple boats in a single day. But here is the trick. You still have to pay an extra fee to use the fast boats with a day pass, and day passes don't cover every connection. Most importantly, only a limited number of tickets are sold for each boat, so if you arrive late and tickets are already sold out, that's when buses can really come in handy. So before you board and after you disembark, it's better to double or triple check at the counter regarding the connections. day on Lake Como, and we already, because we were going to Varenna, but we came to Bellano. apparently, if you are staying in Como, the town, and you intend to go to Varenna, you need to change in Bellagio, and nobody told us that. And we also didn't ask because we thought that the ferry will stop, obviously, but it didn't. It just went to Bellano, so we are spontaneously in Bellano, which is actually also very nice. But just double check, especially if you have tickets for any villas, because obviously you probably won't be allowed to enter if you are late, like really late. But the good thing, there is actually a train from Bellano, but we just thought we'll wait for a ferry because it's supposed to be in 40 minutes or so. And it's really pretty here, so we can just as well spend some time here. Not everything goes as planned, but that's the beauty of travel. In retrospect, I'm really glad that we spent some time here in Bellano and didn't rush straight to Varenna. We still made it there. Some overhyped places didn't quite live up to our expectations, but the gorge we're about to enter was generally impressive, and I definitely suggest visiting it if you have a chance. There is this cool gorge in Bellano. It costs, I think, €7 if you don't go to the castle, and it's really nice, but if you have claustrophobia and if you are afraid of heights, you might have a difficult time, because I had. Anyway, if you are here, I think it's like the most popular thing here to visit. It's called Orrido di Bellano, and it's about a 10-minute walk from the ferry stop. The gorge was formed around 15 million years ago by the erosive force of the river cutting through limestone rock. The canyon is famous for its narrow passages, waterfalls, caves, and dramatic rock formations. There is even a local legend about the Taino ghost, a mystery spirit said to wander around the ravine. According to what I read online, even on hot summer days, the inside of the gorge stays cool and misty. It wasn't actually that hot when we visited though. You also don't really need any special shoes since the gorge is very accessible. However, the stones get a bit slippery because of the humidity and the waterfall, so it's better to wear shoes with good grip if possible. One place we bought tickets for was Villa Cipressi. The name is a bit misleading because actually there is no villa to visit. The place operates as a hotel and you can only visit the villa itself if you are a hotel guest. Most people come here for the beautiful botanical gardens and more recently for the famous Gate of Heaven. It's the most photographed spot inside Villa Cipressi and possibly on Lake Como in general, because if you search for Lake Como online, you'll probably see at least a few photos with this very gate. We just visited the infamous Gate to Heaven or Gate of Heaven or Gate of I don't know what at Villa Cipressi or Cipressi. You'll most probably have to wait, and I don't know, it's cute. But on the way to this place, we've seen so many other beautiful places that are not worse than that I'm actually a bit disappointed that we wasted half an hour waiting just to take a couple of pictures that also didn't get like super gorgeous that would justify the waiting time. So I don't know, people seem to come here very prepared with different outfits, so on and so forth. So it's very, social media infected, and I would advise you skip this place because the botanical garden itself is gorgeous, and like this place, nobody's here apparently, but it's pretty much the same view. Well, yeah, there are other really nice spots that offer even better views without the gate, of course, but still worth it. Or you can also spend more time exploring the botanical garden. It's built on a series of steep traces descending directly toward Lake Como and has Mediterranean, subtropical, and even semi-desert plant species. We still have one villa to visit today, and we were supposed to visit Bellagio as well, but I think we won't be able to because our villa entrance is like in an hour, and by the time we're ready I don't think we'll have much time in Bellagio even if we reach it, so we'll probably visit it on Friday or maybe not. But it's also supposed to be a really nice place, like a must visit. You'll probably have something to see in each town. And there are so many villas. Of course, there are those that are more hyped, so to say. But as the experience showed us with that gate, it's not always the best idea. Also, the ticket system is a bit confusing, so you might want to double check the departing times, the arrival times, the stops, very important. Otherwise, you'll be reaching some other places. So it's a bit confusing, and it's a lot because there are a lot of places here. So that's why do ask and re-ask each time. I'm not sure if it's our mistakes. We had a couple of hours before our next entrance slot, so we used this time for lunch, some shopping and sightseeing in Varenna. Interestingly, Varenna is one of the oldest fishing villages on Lake Como. It is much quieter than Bellagio or Como town, but a bit busier than Bellano. One of its most famous spots is the Passeggiata degli Innamorati or Lovers' Walk. We were lucky because we found it almost empty a couple of times. Our last stop was at Villa Monastero. They have a pretty strict policy for professional photo shootings, by the way. In this case, there is a garden and there is a villa to visit, and when purchasing tickets, you can decide whether you want just the garden or both. This garden is famous for its huge variety of exotic and ornamental plants, including palms, citrus trees, and flowering species. Unlike many villas that sit above the lake, Villa Monastero's design is unique because the entire garden runs parallel to the shoreline. Villa Monastero is so beautiful. You should definitely book it together with Villa Cipressi because they are like 5 minutes apart, and also for Villa Cipressi you don't have any like time limit to enter. It's an all-day ticket, and for Villa Monastero you should like normally book a time slot, but it seems to be so beautiful and so many places to see, and we're so short on time as usual. It's a bit full here, but still you can get like nice pictures and nice experience here. The villa itself is nice to visit too, but honestly, if you choose just the garden, you won't miss much, because as for me, it's the main highlight here. Waking up early in Italy has its charm. The streets are almost empty and you can enjoy the architecture to the fullest. This time, however, we didn't stay in the center of Como. Instead, we headed straight to the ticket office to buy tickets to Bellagio. At the last minute though, we changed our minds and decided to take the bus after all. It takes about the same amount of time to get to Bellagio, but it's much cheaper. It's also the locals' preferred way of getting around Lake Como. The views are amazing, but the road is a bit challenging, honestly. It's very winding and narrow, so if you're uncomfortable with roads like that, you might find the ferry a better option. Bellagio is widely known as the Pearl of Lake Como because of its stunning scenery, elegant villas, and dramatic lakeside setting. It occupies the tip of a peninsula where Lake Como splits into its two southern branches. Just like that, it gives the town panoramic water views in multiple directions. Finally in Bellagio, in the beautiful Bellagio that we were meant to visit on the very first day, but something didn't work out. And interestingly, you can also come here by bus, but the road is a bit difficult. It's very curvy, and if you're not really good with buses and you think you might be nauseous after such a trip, it's better to take a boat, but a boat is more expensive, of course. So it's up to you, but there are two options available. We just want to go and visit that point of, where two lakes meet, the Lake Como and the Lake Lecco, and probably buy some souvenirs, some other things, maybe some gelato, and spend our last day here in Bellagio. We visited Lake Como at the end of April, and although the wisteria had mostly finished blooming, we found many spots like this with other beautiful flowers. The historic center is a maze of steep stone stairways and narrow lanes, including the iconic Salita Serbelloni. It's also one of the most photographed streets in Italy. And you can actually feel it, cause it was already pretty full even before noon. It is a shopping paradise because you can find just about anything you want, including locally made items such as leather accessories and Murano glass. Interestingly, wealthy Romans built retreats in the area nearly 2000 years ago. This makes Bellagio one of Europe's oldest luxury holiday destinations. And if you tried to Google Bellagio and you got Las Vegas in the results, there's also an explanation for that. The luxurious Bellagio resort was named after the Italian town and drew inspiration from the beauty and elegance of Lake Como. Despite its global fame, fewer than 4,000 people live in Bellagio year-round. So beautiful and peaceful here. Just take a look, so few people, but they are all, I think, in more central streets, and so you can do some shopping here and find some restaurants. But it seems to be pretty expensive though, compared to Lenno, for example, or even Varenna, because in Varenna we did find cheaper places. We wanted to check out a viewing point that appeared to be closed, but we came across a super friendly Italian cat instead. Nevertheless, we made our way to another viewpoint called Punta Spartivento. From here, you can enjoy a panoramic view of the lake. I think it would make a more lasting impression when seen from above, because from this spot you don't really get the sense that the lake splits into two. If you're on Lake Como and the ticket line looks like this, don't get discouraged. There is another way. Buses go to many places around the lake, sometimes even faster than the boats, and they cost much less. For example, we went from Como to Lenno for around €5 each, while a boat ticket would have cost about 16 to 17 euros. That said, if you get dizzy on mountain roads or struggle with winding bus roads, it might not be the ideal option after all. Lenno is home to one of Italy's most famous villas that we are about to visit. So we came to Lenno, where one of the most famous villas is situated, but we have it scheduled for later. And we actually came by bus because ferries were full or not available at least. So you should check the schedule because ferries depart not that often as buses, because buses go each hour, and it's also worth it if you want to save some money because it's probably 3 times as cheap. After Varenna, Lenno seemed really small and quiet, so if you're looking for a calmer spot to spend your time on Lake Como, that might be one of them. Also, there are some restaurants with okayish prices. Lenno's waterfront curves around a beautiful bay known as the Golfo di Venere or Gulf of Venus. According to multiple sources, it's one of the most scenic spots on Lake Como. Just offshore lies Isola Comacina, the only island on Lake Como. We saw it passing by on bus. The views between the island and the Labeda Peninsula are among the most photographed in northern Italy. Since 2014, Lenno has been incorporated into the municipality of Tremezzina, although locals and visitors still commonly refer to it by its historic name. I really enjoyed our time before our visit to Villa del Balbianello because most of the visitors were around the villa and the town felt almost empty. If you're looking for a Como experience and don't want to spend all day standing in lines everywhere, you should check out Lenno as well as some other less famous places on Lake Como such as Lecco, Colico or others. Our visit to Villa del Balbianello was scheduled for the afternoon and it was great. I can't say that the villa was overcrowded, but it can also depend on the season, I guess. One reason Villa del Balbianello feels so cinematic is that it's often approached by small boats crossing the lake. Normally, it costs around 10 euros per person, so it's worth considering if you have some extra time. I shared more about our visit to Villa del Balbianello in my previous video if you're interested. Overall, the main highlight is the garden, and I'd say it makes sense to plan at least 2 hours for the visit. If you also plan to do a tour of the villa itself, it will probably take longer to see everything. Como might seem like an underrated town. A lot of visitors travel straight to Varenna, Bellagio, or Menaggio, and Como doesn't usually make it to the top of their lists. But that doesn't mean that it's not worth your time. There are so many cool places to visit in this town, such as the Como Cathedral, for example. The town can get quite crowded, so if you have the chance, try to spend some time in the center in the morning. You'll be able to enjoy the beautiful Italian streets and architecture with almost nobody around. One of the most popular things to do here is, of course, to ride the Como-Brunate funicular. You can buy tickets inside and choose whether you want a one-way or return ticket as well. The funicular can get quite busy, but I guess we were lucky because we didn't have to wait long and even got the seats inside. What's quite special about this funicular is that it's over 130 years old. It was built to connect lakeside Como with the hilltop village of Brunate. When it first opened, the system was powered by a steam engine. Later, it was converted to electric operation. The journey takes roughly 7 minutes and reaches gradients as steep as 55%. Considering how old it is, it might even give you a few butterflies in your stomach. From the top station on clear days, you can see not only Lake Como, but also parts of the Alps, the Po Valley, and even distant skyscrapers of Milan. Brunate's nickname is the balcony of the Alps because of these sweeping views. Because of the trees, you won't be able to see much of the lake from most places. There is one spot though that offers a much better view, the famous lighthouse. The first question most visitors ask is why there is a lighthouse on a mountain. It wasn't built for ships at all. Instead, it was built as a monument to the Como-born inventor of the electric battery. It's a bit of a hike to get there, to be honest. We followed the roads at first, then switched to a hiking trail that turned out to be more difficult than expected, and eventually switched back to the roads. It took us around half an hour to reach the lighthouse on foot. However, we also saw an advertisement for a bus service. Since we were heading up around sunset, there was naturally no bus running at that time. If you climb to the top of the lighthouse, you are supposed to get amazing views. The funicular itself runs every 15 minutes until midnight, so you can stick around and enjoy your views. I hope you enjoyed this vlog too. If so, don't hesitate to subscribe and give me a thumbs up.